What's up? It's your girl T,
And it's your girl Dev,
and welcome to What's the Point podcast.
where we're real friends who have real talk about real life.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. It is episode 14 on the 14th, so happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all the real lovers out there.
Yes.
The real lovers.
The real
not
lovers,
the fake lovers.
the black love, just all love.
Yes,
in
all
this beautiful
love.
month.
And if you're single, if you don't have a relationship, it's not all about relationship love. It's about your
No.
friend love, sibling love, parent love. It's all about love.
Self-love.
Self-love.
Self-love Fridays.
I love that.
So self-love, maybe, it's love month.
Yeah.
That's a thing to do.
Yes.
So we are going to get into our real friend segment. And Deb, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, T. I'm doing very good. I'm happy that today is Valentine's Day. I really love Valentine's Day. I think it's so sweet.
I would say that.
I love the chocolate covered strawberries. I love the roses, all of the vibes. So I'm feeling good today. Like, it's a really nice day. The week has been good for me too. The usual work, life. What about you, T? How have you been?
I have been better.
Okay.
So
I love that.
I have been better. It was a rough winter blues going on, just change. But it is a new year. It started February 1st.
Okay.
And ever since then, everything's been on the up and up. So I've been better. Valentine's Day is actually my second favorite holiday.
Okay.
So
what's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Okay.
Of course. Christmas. But Valentine's Day is my favorite. So it kind of put me in a good mood. So I'm happy too.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I forgot that we started the new year on the 1st. And ever since then, it's been good for me too. It's been on the up. So yeah, I'm glad that we did that because it's been a lot better.
Yeah. So I would say I've definitely been better, but we're going to start our icebreaker. And for this one, we're doing Would You Rather.
Yes. So yeah, we pulled a few cards, and this is the Would You Rather section. So we'll just pull two.
Yeah, I guess pull two.
Okay. You want to?
Well, I actually have three.
Okay, that's fine.
Do two?
We could do them all. Or we'll see. Okay. I'll go first.
All right.
So the first one is: would you rather be gossiped about or never talked about at all?
That's kind of tricky. I would say never talked about at all. Really? I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know. That's kind of tricky because if you're gossiped about, then that means I don't know. Gossip is just not good. Okay, let's just not. No, I don't want to be talked about. What you talked about. Okay, I'll take my turn.
Okay.
So would you rather be proposed to in private or in front of family and friends?
I feel like that's an interesting one because I really, it wouldn't matter. But if it was with family and friends, like a small gathering, like my close people, not just anybody.
Right.
But also if it was just us, that would be cool too. But like make it a nice dinner, like not at the crib.
Right.
Not like you rolling out of bed. Yeah, like thing. Let it be creative if it's just us two still. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, T? What you think?
I'm private all day long.
Yeah.
But I feel like I view or I would acknowledge like the intimate family friends
vibe of it.
Right. And I just realized I did not ask you about would you rather be talked about or gossip? I mean, would you rather be gossiped about
never talked
or
about?
never talked about?
Oh, I would rather be gossiped about than not talked about at all.
Really?
Yeah. Only because it's like, what is gossip? Gossip is not real. Y'all just talk. Are y'all talking shit or y'all just?
But I just read something and it said gossiping is like bullying.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I wouldn't want it because it's to a certain degree. It's not real, but in some ways, humanly, words hurt.
Words do hurt, but I'd rather be gossip than not say nothing at all, because that means I'm not doing nothing. If under a rock. True, I could just be at the crib. I could just be isolated, and there's nothing to talk about. But no, I would rather be gossiped about. Because is it rumors? Like, what are y'all saying?
No,
Because
I would
want to know what y'all saying. Like,
I feel like if you're talking,
I think it would be
you can flip
entertaining.
it either way. Like if you're talking about me, then I must be doing something good. If you're not, then I don't have to deal with it. So it's very
like it just depends. What are y'all saying?
Right.
But, yeah.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. Would you rather date someone you love or date someone who loves you?
Read that again, because that's.
Would you rather date someone you love or date someone who loves you?
I'd rather date someone I love because I get bored very easy.
Same.
I just, I would be really bored.
Yeah.
Like, you can love me all day long. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Woo. But I have to love you.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't love you,
yeah.
I love everyone, but if I'm not in love with you,
yeah,
I can't do nothing for you, baby. I just can't do nothing.
I feel like, I don't know.
You?
That's kind of difficult because you know how they always say, well, like your grandmothers and them say, oh, date the guy who likes you more. You know, like he should like you more than you like him. Yeah. But it's like, that's usually when I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not entertained. I gotta love you.
Right.
But then also, I want you to love me too.
Right.
Like, I don't want it to be one side. That's hard.
Yeah, I don't like that question.
That's a hard question.
I just feel like being a grown woman, I'm like, I have to be interested. I have to be invested. If I'm not invested, negative. And when you're thinking about someone loving you, it's like, okay, so they're loving me, and then I say I love them.
Right. Like, what are we talking about when we're saying love?
I don't like that. I mean,
yeah, that's a difficult one. But my final answer.
What's your final answer, friend?
I don't know. That's so hard.
I don't like that question.
It's so hard. I would say I would want them. I would date someone who loved me. Yeah. Yeah. But damn. Because I might not love them back.
Right. That's how I said.
Like, it's giving bugaboo. It's right. It's giving bugaboo. Destiny's Child.
Yeah. It's giving. No. Okay. So this one, a little juicy. Okay. Would you rather date someone you met online or go on a blind date?
At this point in my life, I'd rather go on a blind date.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really for the dating apps online.
Catfish has done it for us.
No. And they don't even be catfishes.
No.
It's just
it's enough.
It's enough for me. But a blind date, yeah. I would take a friend's recommendation or something like that.
And go on a blind date? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Compared to online, it's given the same way.
Yeah. Like, surprise me.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more for you, friend.
Okay.
But this one is, I just don't even understand that. This is not our game. This is on Amazon. But would you rather die before your partner or after?
Oh, that's tough. I would say after.
Really?
But I would just be in grief. I would be so heartbroken. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, if I go before him, is he going to get remarried? He going to find something else? I mean, that's a tough one. It would depend, like, who is he?
Devin, it said your partner. What about your lifelong partner? Your husband?
Yeah, like my lifelong husband, the love of my life.
Before or after?
After.
Yeah, that is so interesting.
That's selfish.
Oh my gosh.
It is. And unfortunately, I mean, that is very selfish.
No, I'm not saying the selfish piece. I'm like, that is so interesting. I would have never thought that you would have said after.
Yeah. Shoot. What would you say?
I would say before.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be open to my partner getting married again. I would want
my gosh. I'm your only love.
I want to go before because I don't want to deal with the grief.
That's the thing. The grief gonna be hard and tough. I don't want to deal with the
grief. I just don't. Yeah. If I could have it my way, I wouldn't want to deal with the grief.
Yeah,
and that's
because see, that's the thing. It's like you might not even want to remarry.
You might not want to, but it's like I don't even have to think about that, honey. That's on you versus for me.
Versus you. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the men,
no.
they usually be moving on though. The men move on.
I
The
would
women
encourage
be
it to a
chilling.
certain extent. Because you shouldn't sit in the grief.
I mean, you know, maybe it was for a season.
Right, it's for a season. So, with that being said, our episode is all about the end of a season.
Yeah, that kind of brings us right into our topic, actually.
It's all about the end of a season. And see, I thought it was dark. So I was like, ooh.
That was a dark question, but I mean, it's a realistic question. I mean,
it's real.
It's real.
It's very real.
Yeah.
All right. So, this quote in our Real Talk segment, our Real Talk segment is all about our topic.
Yeah.
And with that, we have a quote, and I'll let you bring it up, Deb, since
yes. So this is a quote that I actually saw on Twitter at one point. So I'll give the person their shout out _polo baby. Anyway, they said your 20s is not for sticking stuff out. There's always a better opportunity. And that quote, ever since I saw that quote, I feel like it's been sticking with me through the days because I am in my 20s and there is always a better opportunity for me. Every day there's a new opportunity for you to do something different. And I feel like with this, sticking stuff out in your 20s, it's not necessary. You know, like whether that's relationships, family stuff, friendships, jobs, you know, like I don't have to stay here if I'm not happy or if I don't like it.
I agree. Because I feel like 20s are like foundational to a certain degree. And it's like you want to use that time to really self-explore, discover, rather than being complacent and saying, I'm going to stick in it and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, you give yourself some room to grow. This is the time. That's what I feel like. It's right. This is the time to do that.
Yeah, like I like what you said about it being foundational because it's like this is probably the best time. I think of it as like, what is it, like some type of gum or like something sticky where it's like it hasn't fully dried. You can still move it around. You like when you're doing arts and crafts and it's not all the way stuck yet, you can move it to a different place. That's how I feel like your 20s are. It's like I'm not stuck here.
Right.
I can leave.
You can still move it. You can make it better. Discard it. Do something.
Right. I could change it, throw it away. All those things.
So I agree. I like that. Yeah. So various things to move on to. You kind of mentioned that friendships, relationships, jobs.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Is there any other ones that you would move on from?
Yeah, I mean, aside from like moving on from the past.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I
the
feel
past.
Like that's pretty much the main things that people move on from. It's
yeah.
Like, friends, family, jobs. Yeah.
Experiences. When I think of like oddly like trauma experiences that you have to really
that
take
you
the
can
time
move on and
to move from,
process and heal from. Yeah.
So I would say that too. But what is one of the hardest things that you had to move on from? With that being said.
Good question. That's a good question. And I
that's a good question.
I'm debating how I want to answer it. The hardest thing that I've had to move on from is probably the idea of something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go that direction. Probably the idea or the thought of or the wish of something.
Okay.
Right. So, the idea of how something is gonna work out with a specific thing, person, or place. Yeah. I think that's been the hardest thing for me.
Okay.
And I think I've moved on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're saying is like the expectation.
Yes, the expectation. That was the word I was trying to get across. Or the idea, the experience, or the future idea of something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I feel like that's very realistic.
Yeah. And I think sometimes that is the hard part because we do kind of like, especially as women, sometimes we idealize things ahead of time. And when those things don't work out, you feel away. Right. And it's like, well, was that really even, did I idealize it? Was it really like that?
Were you really seeing it for the reality?
Were you seeing it for the reality or were you seeing it for what you wanted it to be?
Right.
And it's like, once you realize that I was seeing it for what I wanted it to be versus what was right in front of me, then it's easy to move on from that. I think so. Once you
Yeah.
realize, oh, this is just a thought that I had, or I can have this thought at another time with a different opportunity in front of me. So, yeah.
No, I think that was a good answer. That is the hardest thing because it's like borderline. Not saying that's what it was. Yeah. But I'm like, kind of like when we think of my imagination and what I'm thinking of, my expectation. So it's like, are you in the reality?
Right. Or
are you in La La Land to a certain degree?
At the Lulu Land.
Yeah. Are you being delusional and making yourself think these things? And it's not negative to be delusional. I think we put like negative thinking towards it, but it's okay to be in the imaginary world and feel like, okay, this is what I think it's gonna be, and it's gonna work out this way, and it doesn't, and then it's like that is hard to move on from. Yeah,
especially when it's like not. I don't want to say that, but especially when it's not necessarily an idea. Sometimes it be fact. Right. And it just doesn't work out how the chips fall.
Right.
It was supposed to be. Yeah, and that's okay. But you just learn to move on from it. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like mine is kind of similar.
Yeah, what's
the past. Kind of just like the hardest thing to move on from is the past, because you're not supposed to keep record of things.
True.
You're not supposed to kind of like go back and scroll. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I used to keep record of this person did this and this is what they did and this is what happened.
Keeping tallies. Yeah.
And then you're keeping tallies and then you're not really moving on from that said thing. So I think it would definitely be the past. Or like kind of like alluding to what you said, what I thought it should have been, but it didn't work out that way. So now I'm holding on to what actually happened.
I can feel that though about the past,
Past.
Yeah, because they do kind of go hand in hand. Yeah. Like it's like the idea of what could have been, or
what it should have been,
or what it would have been. Maybe if it went this way, what would have been, or if things went that way, what could have been.
Done?
Right? What could I have done? What could I have said? What could I have?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're playing all the things, and it's like, girl, move on.
Yeah,
like,
girl, leave it alone. Leave it in the past.
Like, which one is it gonna be? It's only two choices.
Right.
So I do feel like that goes into it because it's easy to move on from a job. It's easy to move on from, just things that are kind of superficial.
Yeah.
You don't have to really look into it. But when the things that are yourself that you're dealing with and trying to move on from, that's always the hardest piece. Like, that's not something you can move.
Yeah, I feel like a job, that's the easiest thing to move on from. That's, baby, put the application in, put the 2 weeks in, I'm gone. I'm probably gone before the 2 weeks.
Right.
But the other things that are more like tied to your personal life and your personal self, your relationships, your family, your friendships, those are harder to move on from, because that was like, obviously that played a role at some point in your life or in your coming of self.
Right.
So it's like, I can see how those are more difficult.
I also think of like, we jokingly say like, okay, I'm checked in or I'm checked out. Like you check out from a job, for instance, like when it's like no longer serving you and you're like, I'm about to do what you're preparing. The things that you don't have time to prepare for and you didn't necessarily have time to like check out and prep, those are the things that are hard to move on from, because it's like, okay, now I have to figure out all of this.
Yeah.
On top of knowing what to do, how I need to do it. So I think the check-in, check-out thing, that mental prep, it comes a long way versus when you don't have that and it's like, get your stuff. Let's go. Exit, get your shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
So you feel like it's better to have that check-in, check-out mentality.
I have the check-in, check-out mentality. Like I can check out.
Check in and check out.
I can just do that. Like, for instance, let me not bring up his song. Because, I mean, he has great music, but... y'all do fill in the blanks. When a woman's fed up by,
Oh, no.
Okay. But that song is true.
Yeah.
It's real true. Like, when you're fed up with something.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm fed up, it ain't nothing that's stopping me. But if you don't give me time to be fed up, now I gotta get to being fed up. Now, I'm trying to figure it out.
That's one thing about it. It's like with women, it's like once you get to that point of I'm cool, I'm done. I'm done. There's
I'm
no
done.
going back. There's
I'm
no. I'm gone. Once I'm cool on you, I'm cool on you. There's no going back.
I'm good.
And that's across the board.
And that's the mental prep. Yeah.
That's the mental prep.
That's
like
it.
I'm already preparing for the exit before you even put the exit on the table.
I was fed up before you even said anything.
Yeah.
So
I was
fine.
fed up before we even got to this point of it happened to be an exit. I was already counting your days.
That's why I said I feel like fed up is like the perfect example of mental preparation because you're understanding what's going on.
You're able to process it.
You're processing it. I've already went through it. I self-reflected.
Yep.
I did everything I needed to do.
Yep, on my end.
So now
you got to go.
But if I don't have that privilege to do so, then that's when I'm like in a just frantic, just you know, figuring it out, trying to get it together, and do all the things. So I think that's kind of just those portions as far as.
No, I totally agree because that even goes to like when I was leaving my job. Like that's when I knew it was time for me to go because I didn't have that mental prep. It was just it was so much going on that I was like, oh, I have to go. This is way too much going on. I don't have the mental capacity to take on anything else.
I gotta go.
There was no build up. It was I'm out. I got to go. Yeah.
So with that, Deb, kind of like when do you know, or like what's your signs when it's time to move on?
So for me, there's this thing that Drake said. He said, the moment I stop having fun with it, I'm done with it. And that's how I feel. The moment that I'm no longer having fun, the moment it's no longer serving me a purpose, the moment that I'm either becoming a different person, I'm coming out of my character, you know, like if any of that is going on, that's when I know it's time for me to kind of shake some things off. Like something is throwing me off. Like going back to that quote that Drake said, when I'm not having fun anymore, I don't want to be here no more. I'm cool. Like I'm all for things that make me feel good, friendships that make me feel good, relationships that make me feel good, jobs that make me feel good. If I'm not having fun, I don't want to come back.
That's my sign.
That's my sign to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, T?
When do I know? I feel like I've just put my all into it at this point. I've given the benefit of the doubt. I did all the things. I'm exhausted. That's when I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I will give it my all and I'm like, okay, let me try it this way. Let me try it that way. When I have exhausted everything and I can honestly walk away and say I tried everything, I'm out. I don't have no regrets. I don't have nothing.
Yeah. And see me, am I the type to, I'll try my best to make it work. I'll stick it out. Not stick it out. I'll try my best to make it work. But after that, if it's not working, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm going to give you grace.
I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to give you benefits of doubt. Right. I'm going to give it time.
I'm going to try to talk, you know, immaturity. I'm going to try to
communicate.
But after that,
I'm going to try to communicate my needs. Like at work, hey, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. Can we talk about the schedule? Can we talk about something? If we can't, all right.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. What else can you do? I gotta go. Like y'all aren't honoring my words. You're not respecting me, and I gotta go.
Yeah, because I'm like, at that point, it's like, what else could you do?
Nothing.
Okay, if there's nothing else that you can do, then what? What's your next step?
Yeah.
And that's kind of just how my processing works. Because I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to be regretful and say, oh, I wish I would have did this or I could have did this to do that. So I like to go ahead, experience all of that. If now some situations don't even allow you to do that.
Yeah, some of them don't warrant that.
But in some things, I'm like, okay, I do have this opportunity to extend grace. Let's try it. It's not working.
Yeah.
That's my time. That's my sign. So I'm all about the signs. That's my ticket. That's my golden ticket.
It's the signs. Yeah.
But with that, kind of just thinking of letting things go. What is your thoughts on when it was a time that you had to like really let it go?
Well, I just feel like whenever somebody's like playing in your face, that's when you know it's time to go. That's your red flag. That's time to go.
It's time to go.
Yeah, like jobs. If going back to communication, if they're not honoring your schedule, they're not honoring your PTO, they're not honoring your vacation time, they're not honoring anything that flows into yourself and makes you better, go leave. Anytime somebody's playing in your face, they lying, they doing their thing, leave. It's plenty of signs.
It's a lot of signs.
It's a lot of signs. Anytime it's going against you in a way, and y'all can't come to a common ground or a proper ground, eliminate yourself.
I like that. I like the you
piece
because that's me all day long. Like if it's going against my morals,
my values, my time,
my standards. I meet people where they're at, but I have like very minimal
my expectations
and boundaries. If you're going past that, it's really giving. Like at this point, this is not gonna work.
Yeah,
this is not you. It's definitely me.
No, it's not me. It's you, baby.
I say it's me as far as what I'm gonna tolerate. In terms of letting it go. Like I don't even want to try. What can we do from here? What could we be?
Nothing.
Are you serious?
I get
and that goes for like friends. That's not a relationship thing. That goes for like friends, family. Like, what could I do? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Your time to fix it.
I love you. Nothing's gonna change, but that's not gonna work for me. So I think letting it go. It does take time to learn you and know like what works for you, what doesn't.
Yeah, because going back, it's all about you. Like you control all of this stuff, you and God, so it's like at the end of the day, you allow what you control what gets happen or what happens. You allow what happens. If people are acting up, jobs acting up, family acting up, friends acting up, and you just don't want to deal with it, like something needs to change. Either y'all come to a common conversation where y'all can communicate on both sides what needs to be done for y'all to have a good relationship, or let it be and leave and let it move on, move on from it. So yeah,
I would agree. We are your real friends, whether it be in real life or just on YouTube,
right? Or just on the podcast. Yeah,
we're your real friends, so we're gonna hold you accountable. And in this moment, like if there's some things that are burning you out, there's some things that are like Dev said, are not allowing you to like really be yourself, is what I'm thinking of. You have an opportunity that's life-changing, that you just trying to hold on to something because it feels safe, or you just feeling like disconnected, then you definitely know what's up next, which is those are your signs to move on. I feel like that's kind of a nice way to put all of that together. And sandwich it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need the accountability of knowing it's not, let me figure it out. Maybe it's time for change.
Yeah, maybe it's time for change. Yeah, like maybe you learned the lesson you were supposed to learn. Now it's time to go.
It's time to go. It's your season is up. It's time to go.
Your season is up. It's time to go.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I like everything comes for a season. Everything's for a reason. We all know the saying. And it's like, we have to be okay with that. And I know sometimes it sucks. Some things we don't want to end. Some seasons we want to last a little bit longer. But we don't control the time, baby.
We don't control it. It doesn't wait on you. And something else I've noticed is like, and some things might be a bit harder. Like for me, oddly, relationship breakup versus friend breakup. Friend breakup is hard. I just hate that.
Yeah.
Like that just hurts my heart.
Yeah, because it's like my friends, those are my friends.
Yeah, like you walk through life with me at a certain point.
Yeah.
To a really deep degree. So
yeah.
That's the one, like, for instance, like, there's different things for you where it might be hard for you to say, like, oh, my gosh, I don't want to let this person go. I get it.
But let it go. I mean, because we also have to remember that we don't own people. People are experiences. Like, you might only be with this person for a little bit of time, and that's okay.
Right.
At the end of the day, let it be. Let it go. Like, you were a fun time. It was great. And now... flourish.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
The love doesn't have
to stop, but it has to pass on.
Yeah. You can love someone from a distance.
For sure. And yeah, so I like those that you wrap that all up together
And
for
the
the people.
sandwich, because you know, accountability sometimes. I'm not
Yes,
gonna
it
tell
starts
you
with
let it
self.
go, like, and just leave you there and
Yeah.
hanging.
Yeah.
So you need to know the signs. So with that, Deb, what's our vibe for the week?
Our vibe for this week is a song called Moving On by Shawn featuring Anderson Paak. And you guys should go and check that song out.
Yes.
We're not going to go through it today, but you guys can check it out. It's a nice little bop.
Right. And if you're needing to move on, turn that on.
Yeah, play that, you know.
Turn it on. Let it play.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, blast it on the radio. Because that's one thing, like when you moving on from something, whether it's a job. I mean, but like I said, jobs are easy. So I'm not going to compare this to that. No, you just need the
affirmation or confirmation.
Yeah, but like when you're moving on from like relationships and friendships and you need a little music to play, blast your music, dance around the house, turn up and just, you know, let it go. Get in your bag and move on.
Let it go, please. I was trying to be nice.
Right, but I'm going to tell you to get in your bag, get some money, and you won't have to be worried about nothing. How about that?
Let it go, and you don't know what's going to happen. So getting into our real life where we kind of discuss our point, and hopefully you come up with yours too. But then what's your point for today?
So my point of today is to leave before it blows up in your face. Your gut always knows when it's time to move on. So listen to your gut and move on to a different opportunity. Yeah.
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Come in.
Yeah, let the new opportunities come, new experiences. But what about you, T? What's your point?
My point is, what's the worst thing that could happen? To me, change is good, and just kind of like rhyming with our episode, but everything really does happen for a reason. So that's just my point. I'm like, what are you holding on to?
Yeah.
What happens if you let it go?
I like that.
You don't know. Like, it's going to get better. You have to believe it's going to get better.
Yeah, have faith. Have faith that it will get better because it'll get better. Like you said, what's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst thing? I mean, because you already let it go. That was the hard part.
Right. That was the hard part. The moving on. Like I said, getting your bag in the gym.
Bring everything new.
Yeah.
New things are good. So
yeah.
But that is our segment of our real life, and we're going to close on out, and hopefully you have a good Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah, like don't be sad in the house, y'all. Please get outside, get some fresh air. I'm just saying because we promote positivity and self-love over here. So don't be crying in the house about a man. Get out, get your money right. Go to the gym, get some fresh air. Take yourself to dinner, a bubble bath, walk. Chocolate covered strawberries.
I love those.
Me too. I'm gonna get some delivered to my house.
Those are good. All right, so follow us on IG at whatsthepoint_pod, right?
Yes, very good.
Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
I got it right. Okay, and you can follow me on my personal IG at _I love New York. And go ahead, Deb.
And you can follow me on my personal IG at devin.nicole. Yeah. And
I feel like with 2 A,
Devin with an A, Nicole with 2 E's on the end.
I knew it was 2 something.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it because y'all should know by now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I felt like it was just very familiar.
Yeah.
But anyways, those are the things you can follow us on, and happy Valentine's Day again.
Yep. We'll see y'all next time in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.